Hello everyone, Dr. Victoria Scarbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. So today we're going to be doing tarot scopes. We're going to be doing the tarot scopes for the sign of Capricorn for the month of April 2022. So that would include Capricorn Suns, Capricorn Moons, Capricorn Rising. Perhaps you have a lot of Capricorn in your chart. One of your nodes is in Capricorn. Perhaps you have a full 10th house. So these cards may or may not, you may or may not feel they apply to you. Take what you can from them, if anything, and if not, you can just leave it aside. This is a reading of the energy for April in this moment, right? And we are co-creative and we do have free will. So we do not, nothing is really fated. We have the capacity to shift and change through our attention. So I'm going to be using the Connolly tarot deck, a deck I've had for years and years and years. Tried and true, as it were, as we go and look at the tried and true sign of Capricorn. You see behind me, I have my painting for the sign of Capricorn. This is, in a way, how I experience or I see Capricorn as an energy. It's very, very stable. It's time tested and time worn. It is at the top of a natural chart. So like being at the top of the mountain, you have the greatest view, as it were. You know how hard it was to climb that mountain. And you also know how hard it is to descend that mountain gracefully. So, what else did I want to say? Astrologically, of course, Pluto is in your sign. But guys, let me tell you, you only have like another year or so, year and some plus here and there before it's out of your sign and into the sign of Aquarius. And it's been there since 2008. And so as a Capricorn, you have been going through quite a bit. Of course, we did have the Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn there in 2020. 2019 and 2020, and it did make that conjunction to Pluto, right? That was a 23rd or 24th degree of Capricorn, and that was the beginning of 2020, and nothing has been the same since. So powerful times we find ourselves in, and your ruling planet Capricorn is in the sign of Aquarius, which is actually also classically ruled by Saturn. So it's also powerful, but there is sort of a breaking away of those traditions or those ways of doing things that sort of hold us back from evolving. And so there's a necessity for things to be let go of in Capricorn while still maintaining a certain amount of structure so that we can work within the bounds and the rules of the game, so to speak. And the game is really the game of life, and it's the game of being in a manifested reality and having to move and act and work through density. So it's not that easy. So all of you know, Capricorn. So the first card to come up for you guys, you're going to love this, is the Ace of Wands. So this is new creative beginnings. New creative beginnings. So there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of creativity. It's right there. It's there. It's like you're being handed the staff of creativity. You're being handed the root of power. And the root of power in this case is the power of belief and the power of creativity and the power of love and the power of passion. This is taking hold of your passion. Let's see what challenges that. A sense of not being in control of your environment. And to a certain extent, the only thing we're really in control of is ourselves, right? Our environment is, in a way, a reflection of what we have come to believe to be true. And this card says that, sometimes we don't know all the answers. Sometimes we have to just let things go by and let things happen. And understand where we can affect things and where we can't. And not to sort of waste time on, because you can do it. It's like, it's not even about wasting time on things that you have no control over. But it's almost an impossibility to do it. And so this requires, if you don't know what the new beginning is, and it is really new, it's uncharted territory for you, Capricorn. If you don't really know what it is, the best thing to do is to go into meditation, is to go and connect with spirit, because that's what this card talks about. He has a halo around his head. That halo is his connection to spirit, to source. I'm getting a ringing in my ear, so somebody's agreeing with me. At the root here is the Star card. So I feel like you've been through a lot. And now the question is, what now? I've been through all of this, right? I mean, I don't have to tell you, Capricorns, how hard it's been, right? Now what? Well, now what is, at the root is the need to find your guiding star, to find that, to meditate. This is another meditation card. So this is a time for you to get into some deep meditation, Capricorn. Deep meditation. Okay. You know, with Saturn in Aquarius, you're really coming to terms with what's most important, what's of value to you. What is it that you truly need? What is it that you truly value? What is essential in your life? And that has to be, and essential, I think, in any Capricorn's life is a sense of purpose. And a sense of purpose beyond their own ambitions. There are many Capricorns that only go up to their ambitions and they won't go further. But Capricorn is the sign of the Redeemer. And so we can transcend and ascend to the highest of highs. Martin Luther King was a Capricorn. I have been to the mountain. He has seen it. He's seen the future. In the darkest days of the past, he saw the future, and the future was beautiful. And we're creating that. We're creating that. And the sooner that we come to terms with the fact that everything's going to be great, I know what you're thinking, Capricorns, the faster we'll get to the point where everything is just as it is, as it needs to be, at the level of thing. We're not fighting ourselves anymore. We're working with ourselves, and we're working with each other. It's a magical thought, but it is out there. In the past, we have the Knight of Swords. You were the first one in battle. You were like, I believe this, or I'm doing this, or this is what needs to be done. You were never a coward about that. You would go in with all your swords and paraphernalia and shields and all your training and everything to take on the world. And for some, it's been a mind expanding and a heart expanding journey. For others, it's been a kind of a wild goose chase. Ambition and success is a wild goose chase. It doesn't guarantee happiness, quite frankly. And so I think what does make us happy is having a dream that we can follow and that we can see manifesting. And that dream changes. It doesn't always stay the same. It evolves just like we do. I mean, there was a time when I wanted to be an archaeologist cowboy, and I can't barely dig anything in the garden without my back hurting. And forget about getting on top of a horse, although I would like to do that again if there's a horse willing. I could find one of those draft horses. I mean, those are big horses. They can carry me pretty well. What's in the sky? Oh my God, another ace. Holy Toledo. New opportunities. So there's so much new coming for you, Capricorn. But everything's right at the beginning. It's like the birth of things. It's like things are just coming into. It's like, what's that expression we like to use in Massachusetts? Dawn breaks on Marblehead. Right? It's like, oh, I see. Let's see your immediate future. Okay, we have the six of swords in this deck. It's moving. Oh, it's moving on. It's moving on. This woman has her wand, her ideas. She's moving on. She's crossing over bridges. The bridges that you have built. You're crossing over them. You're moving on. You're moving on different shores, on a new shore. So you're doing something really, I think, quite frankly, completely new is coming in to your energy. And of course, we do have the new moon in Aries for you guys, right? So for you, Capricorn, Aries sits there in your fourth house. It's like the root house. It's the house like closest to the earth. And so it's almost like really a whole new seed, a whole new project from the ground up that's coming. And you know, Capricorn rules governments and how we govern and how we relate, and how, you know, how the institutions reflect where the people are ultimately, right? And so, do we need strong men anymore? Don't we have enough self-determination and intelligence and knowledge and all of that to be able to sort of work for ourselves in a way? You know what I'm saying? Let's see what how it's seen from the outside. Oh, they see you as the king. So even though you may see yourself as at a disadvantage or right at ground zero sounds about right, Aquarius? I mean, Capricorn, the people around you know you're successful. I mean, you know how to do success. And so start doing success for the things that are going to benefit us, right? Or benefit you or make you happy. I mean, what about happiness? In a domestic situation, we have the Queen of Swords. So judgments are going to be made. Maybe there's a legal judgment here and in your domestic situation. Perhaps there's the dissolution of a relationship. This sometimes is not really an energy of divorce. It's not really that, but it's about cutting away the extraneous and moving into a place of transformation. You see she has the butterfly on her sword. So this is something new, something I think completely new, after a decision that took a lot of consideration, a lot of thought, a lot of heart, and a lot of courage to make. And so now you're sort of on the other side of that, or that decision is being made this month, excuse me, and a new birth is right on the edge. We're on the edge. You're on the edge of a new birth, and of course, with all the aces that you have in this reading, we have to believe that to be true. Hopes and fears. This is an interesting card because this guy is praying for change, and yet he refuses he refuses to take the actions necessary for change. While the youth takes up the sword and says, wow, if I use the sword, I can change things. So you're never too old to change things, guys. You're never too old. You can be that child. You can be that. You can be reborn and find that spirit within you. So if you're afraid that you're too old, or that you're not courageous enough, or that it's just been too hard, you have an opportunity to do it again if you want. So that's up to you. Again, we always have free will now, don't we? And the outcome is the Ace of Cups. There are 4 aces in the deck, and you got 3 of them, guys. So this is all new stuff. This is lovely energy, unconditional love, good news, just lovely. New relationships even, right? New relationships. Let's see if we can pull a major arcana. We get the Knight of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups. That's happiness. We like that one. And the Chariot. And the Chariot. You're moving forward. You're moving forward. Let's see what's underneath the deck. We have the Temperance. That's healing. The 3 of Pentacles, which is working with others who are really good at what they do. It's mastery. This is the apprentice who becomes the master, right? And then we have the Page of Wands, which is messages coming. So lots of new beginnings for you, Capricorn. Lots of new beginnings. And I think what's mostly seen around these new beginnings is a willingness to let go of those things that you either don't have control over or are not even of interest anymore. Because sometimes we do the same thing over and over again because we feel somebody's depending on us to do it that way, or we feel obligated to do it that way. And an obligation is never really, is never a good energy. Love is the energy. If you're going to do something for somebody, do it out of love and because you want to do it, not because you feel obligated. Because what obligation does is it sort of ties you up, and it can tie you up in resentment, and you don't want that. Okay, so let's take a look. We're going to pull an oracle card for you as well. And we're going to pull from the Spirit of the Wheel deck. And I picked this deck up in Portland, Oregon at this awesome bookstore in Portland. Those of you, or metaphysical bookstore I can't think of the name of it. And I've said this before, and you guys have told me in the comments what the bookstore is. But it's a great bookstore in Portland. All metaphysical stuff, astrology, just amazing, amazing, amazing bookstore. And this deck actually sort of fell off the, it like hit me in the head, so that's why I picked it up. So we have growth, spirit path of the South, opportunity, acceptance, and gateway. There's the energy of the let's see, where is it? The Chariot card, right? Here's the Chariot. It's one of the last ones we picked up here. Right? This is similar energy, right? Horses are always symbolic of power, That's why it's horsepower, right? Okay, I'm going to read this right from the book, and I'll hold it up for you so you can take a look at it if you want. Let me see, what number is that? It's 35. 35 is an 8 vibration. In the tarot, it's the 9 of Wands. It's about having healthy boundaries, putting up healthy boundaries. Okay. $35. Okay. I was just talking about it and I couldn't find it. Okay, so let me read this to you. I'll take my glasses off to read, so pardon me. All right, let's put it up here. We can still see the painting, right? Yeah, okay, good. Standing at the gateway to a new cycle within your life, you are frozen by the fear of what lies ahead. In the past, you have dealt with some of your fears and began to process of recognizing your own self-worth. Now a great opportunity for you can move you beyond your fears and focus on your future goals. You have reached a truly significant stage in your life. Prepare yourself by nurturing the growth occurring within you. Start by forgiving yourself and understanding that all our experiences make us stronger. Growth is about taking responsibility for your life and moving beyond your fears, limitations, and into a greater sense of self. Accepting our innate abilities and our potentials as gifts from Great Spirit help us realize that our fears are really only attachments to our ego, not our true self. When we begin to use the talent to be of greater service to the world. So this is really about your ambitions turning towards being of greater service to the world. And this is your prayer. I stand at the gateway to a new phase of my life. Please help me, Creator, to recognize and nurture my talents, to move beyond any ego attachments to a place of solitude that comes from accepting my own true self-worth. There you go. There you go. There you go, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I had a few birds outside my window, but because I didn't have my glasses on, I couldn't see what kind they were. I would tell you what birds were visiting your reading. Let's see if anybody comes around here. 1 minute here. Honey, I don't see a single one, and I know that. Oh, Junco, a Junco, little winter birds, and a chickadee, chickadee dee dee. So I have a Junco and a chickadee. I think that was another Junco. All right, from my home to yours, from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for listening. If you would like a reading with me, you can do that. There's a link below. You can go to my website. I do astrology and Kabbalah readings. If you would, you could donate to my channel as well. If this you find this helpful, please share. Please share this if you know anybody who think it could benefit from this. Please feel free to share that. Keep your eyes peeled for my astrology and Kabbalah of of April. And I have a new moon shadows coming up with Ona from Ona's Tarot. There's also just a recent, I think one of our best high teas with Denise episodes that was put up a few days ago. Check that out as well. And again, I'm also planning the start of a new Kabbalah series, but I'm still working out the details of that and how I want to approach it. But if you are interested in learning the Kabbalah with me, there is something coming soon. And I do have an events page on my astrology website, so you can always check out to see what's going on at that time. So have yourself a great day. Like, subscribe. Much love, everyone. Namaste.